I ask the reader kindly to briefly examine this sequence of facts. April 2001. The trafficker Fernandinho Beramar confesses that he annually buys and injects into the Brazilian market 200 tons of cocaine from the FARC in exchange for weapons smuggled from Lebanon. December 7, 2001. The Foro de São Paulo, coordination of the Latin American Communist Movement, under the presidency of Mr. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, launches a manifesto of unconditional support to the FARC, in which it classifies as state terrorism the military actions of the Colombian government against this organization. October 17, 2002. The PT, through the International Affairs Advisor of Lula's electoral campaign, Giancarlo Suma, states in an official note that the party has nothing to do with the FARC and that the Foro de São Paulo is only a forum for debates and not a structure of international political coordination. March 1, 2003. The PT government officially extends its protective mantle over the FARC, refusing to classify them as a terrorist organization as requested by the President of Colombia, Álvaro Uribe. August 24, 2003. The commander of the FARC, Raul Reyes, reports that the main contact of the narco-guerrilla in Brazil is the PT and, within it, Lula, Frei Beto, and Amir Sater. March 15, 2005. The scandal of $5 million from the FARC breaks out, which an agent of this organization, the false priest Oliverio Medina, claims to have brought to the electoral campaign of Mr. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The matter is superficially investigated and soon disappears from the news. July 2, 2005. Speaking at the 15th anniversary of the Foro de São Paulo, Mr. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva contradicts the note of October 17, 2002, confessing that the Foro is a secret entity, built so that we could talk without it seeming so, and without people understanding any political interference. That this entity actively interfered in the Venezuelan plebiscite, and that there, in secret, he himself took government decisions together with Chavez, Fidel Castro, and other leftist leaders, without informing the parliament or the public opinion. April 9, 2006. The head of the narcotics police station of the federal police in Rio, Vitor Santos, informs the newspaper O Dia that 18 traffickers from the criminal faction Commando Vermelho, among them at least one from the Jacarezinho favela and another from Morro de Mangueira, periodically go to the border of Brazil with Colombia to buy cocaine directly from guerrillas of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, FARC. The criminals are the target of federal police investigation. They occupied the space that was once exclusive to Luiz Fernando da Costa, Fernandinho Beramar. May 12, 2006. The PCC in São Paulo launches attacks that spread terror among the population. On December 27, it is the turn of Commando Vermelho to do the same in Rio de Janeiro. July 18, 2006. The Supreme Federal Court, under the pressure of a vast political movement orchestrated by the PT, grants political asylum to the false priest Oliverio Medina, an agent of the FARC. May 16, 2007, Judge Odilon de Oliveira, from Ponta Porã, releases evidence that the FARC act in national territory training criminals from the PCC and Commando Vermelho in urban guerrilla techniques. February 12, 2007, the FARC highly praised the PT for having saved the Latin American communist movement from extinction through the foundation of the Foro de São Paulo. August 2007. In the preparatory videos for its third Congress, the PT admits that its goal is to eliminate capitalism and implement a socialist regime in Brazil, and also provides a second denial to Giancarlo Suma's note, confessing that the Foro de São Paulo is a space of strategic articulation, SIC. September 19, 2007, Lula offers Brazilian territory as a venue for a meeting between Hugo Chavez and the commanders of the FARC. Among these facts, countless others occurred whose exact dates I do not remember at the moment, including the massive supply of weapons to the FARC by the Hugo Chavez government, a national media campaign to demoralize the American strategic analyst Constantine Menges, who revealed the existence of a Lula-Castro-Chavez-FARC axis, shootouts between FARC guerrillas and Brazilian army soldiers in the Amazon, reports that the FARC provided urban guerrilla training to MST militants, and, of course, several general assemblies and working group meetings of the Foro de São Paulo. The existence of a deep, constant, and supportive connection between the PT and the FARC is such a well-proven fact that whoever insists on denying it can only be interested in maintaining the secret or else incurably foolish. It also does not seem possible to hide the evidence that this connection is not only bilateral but involves, to a greater or lesser degree, all entities participating in the Foro de São Paulo, the largest political organization on the continent, of which the FARC and similar movements constitute the various armed branches, acting around and inside Brazilian territory under the protection of our federal government, headed, as is known, by the very founder of the Foro de São Paulo. Do not ask me how and why facts of this magnitude have never been the subject of a CPI, Parliamentary Inquiry Commission, nor even a brief debate in Congress, much less a reporting effort by media that prides itself on being so fond of dangerous investigations. There are many explanations: spirit of betrayal, witnesses who disappear, money that flows, complicity, opportunism, cowardice, stupidity, and it is not even worth reviewing them. But there is one that, due to its picturesque nature, should be recorded here. The vice of self-help courses, paid for at a king's ransom and valued more for that than for any proven result, has instilled in the Brazilian ruling class a limitless faith in the power of positive thinking. Many people in high society sincerely believe that if you persistently repeat the mantra, "Communism is over," the communist movement will have ceased to exist. They even believe that, faced with individuals who openly declare themselves communists, such as Messrs. Aldo Rebelo or Cordom de Moraes, the firm decision to think they are something else will transform them into that something else. As for individuals who associate themselves with communists, participate in communist congresses, are regarded as loyal communists by the communists themselves, and make plans for the continental takeover of power alongside the communists, but who do not admit publicly that they are communists, the mere hypothesis that they might be secretly is repelled with disdain or indignation and alleged as proof that the author of the suggestion is a dangerous right-wing extremist, so exaggerated and fanatical that he might himself be, under right-wing camouflage, a provocateur agent serving international communism. Thus, we arrive at the delightful conclusion that the only communist, or at least the only dangerous one, is me. Therefore, just don't listen to me. And that's it. Brazil is safe from the communist threat. There is no doubt that, in this sense, Brazil today has the most vast, organized, and powerful anti-communist front ever recorded throughout universal history.